for a rip or a tear where all the fabric is still left behind, what we're going to do is actually turn the fabric inside out. This is if you can get to the wrong side. So then you can pull the fabric through onto the wrong side and pull all the little fibers through with it. Then you're going to fiddle a little bit to get that put back together again. Sprinkle over a little of the powder. You don't need a lot. And cover with a little patch. We recommend lightweight cotton for patches. I'm using a patch of a different color so you can actually see clearly what I'm doing here. If I was doing this at home, I'd use a gray patch that blends in. But remember, ladies, these are on the wrong side, so nobody's actually going to see them anyway. The patch goes over the top, blow away the excess, and just cover with the pressing sheet, and then run the iron over it. A couple of seconds on the one side, the wrong side, and then turn it to the right side, and a couple of seconds there as well. This is washable, dry cleanable. You can put it through the tumble dryer as many times as you want to. We just ask you to leave it to cool down first before you do any of those things. And you can see how effective, how it blends in to the fabric itself. So if you've got a very expensive woolen suit, you've just saved yourself an absolute fortune. Now, a tear may be bad, but a hole is even worse because the material is missing. I'm just going to cut a hole here, which could be a cigarette burn in a suiting. It might be a moth hole in a sweater. We're going to be able to fix this quite easily for you. First of all, you're going to trim a little piece of a hem or a seam somewhere, or you can pull a few threads out. You can even take a razor blade, take a bit of pilling off the inside of a fluffy sweater, and then we're going to cut it up. So the easiest way to do that is to roll it into a little ball, take your scissors, and chop it up as fine as you can. The finer you can chop it up, the better it's going to work, so we just keep chopping it up and chopping it up and chopping it up till it looks a little bit like fluff. Mix it with a little bit of the bonding powder and just take enough of it to fill in the hole. Roll it into a little ball in your fingers. Working on the wrong side of the fabric, place it into the hole and press it down firmly. Add a little bit more of your bonding powder and a little patch to cover it over. Now we recommend lightweight cotton because the lighter weight the patch, the less noticeable it will be on the right side. And again, I'm using a different colored patch so it's clear what I'm doing. Blow away any of the excess, cover with this pressing sheet, and then it allows you to work with your high temperature iron even on a woolen garment or anything more delicate. You need a couple of seconds on the wrong side, then turn it through to the right side and a couple of seconds there as well. Just leave it to settle and cool before you wash it or wear it, send it to the cleaners, whatever you actually want to do there. You saw me cut the hole, now the hole has disappeared. It works absolutely fantastic, and that technique would be working on your woolen fabrics, those with a nap, woolen sweaters, knitted t-shirts, and for you embroidery people, when you cut the thread too close, you can fix the hole back together again. Now, if we have a hole in a pattern fabric or a flat fabric, the chopping up method, like I did on the wool, is not suitable. Here, what we need to do is replace the pattern that is actually missing. So we need to cut a piece out that is slightly bigger than what is missing, and then we can actually piece it in. So again, we can just, if we can't get to the wrong side, if you're working on a quilt or a comforter or anything like that, we can actually put the patch through the tear and fuse it all from the right side. So all we would recommend that you do is you just dampen the area and sprinkle the powder that is actually going to fit underneath this area here. Now, when I did this silk jacket, I used a piece of fabric that I actually found off the shoulder pad that matched in with the pattern. So I was able to actually do that technique, but because I could get to the wrong side, it was easier to put the patch on here over the hole. And then when we look at it, the patch is showing through the hole, and we have it fixed in with the pattern. So it is very difficult because, number one, it doesn't change the feel of the silk, it stays soft and flexible, and it's difficult to see where we've patched it. But if I hold it up against a backlight, we may be able to see that more clearly where we've actually pieced it in.